Hello, hello. Welcome to Business Spotlight USA. Monica Gunderson here with Chisel Action Coach. My favorite time of day, week, when I get to talk to business owners, learn more about them and their journeys and their businesses. And super excited to have Mason joining us today from Motus Financial. Hello, Mason.
Hey, Monica.
How are you?
So good. It's perfect day out.
Awesome. Yes, a little bit of a Wisconsin November weather is pretty nice when we get some sunshine and warmer weather, isn't it?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Mason, super excited to have you here and for the listeners and viewers to hear more about your story. Why don't we get started with you telling a little bit about yourself, your journey, and your business?
Yeah. My name is Mason Tikkanen. I'm one of the owners of Motus Financial here in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, in the Madison area. We help companies accept credit and debit card payments. We basically help them with the services and technology they need to accept those kinds of payments. My journey is completely convoluted. Nobody dreams to be in the credit card processing world when they're 6 years old. I wanted to be a football player, and it turns out you can't be somebody else. You can't be that other person. I could have tried to be a football player, but I just wanted to be him, and that's not possible. But cut our teeth in this industry, me and my business partners, many years ago, working for a very large global financial technology firm. And we decided to start Motus Financial, go out on our own 12 years ago. It was probably the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. And it's turned out great. Every single year that we've been in business has been the best year we've ever had from a revenue and profit standpoint. So we're very fortunate. Not all of our clients can say the same thing, and most business owners I know can't say the same thing, but we're very fortunate.
That's great. So when you were 6 years old, what did credit card processing look like when you went to a store?
There wasn't. People pay with checkbooks and cash. If you were lucky enough to have a credit card, there were little paper carbon copy slips. People used imprinters, manual imprinters, slid it across the top of the credit card. We affectionately refer to those as knuckle busters. So there wasn't much in the way of credit card processing services or technology even then. But eventually computers became more affordable, and people transitioned into electronic payments in the 90s.
Right. I remember those days in retail. So so glad for the evolution. So 12 years successful. That doesn't happen on accident, right? So there's something that is driving Mason to continue to have this success and be successful. What's your why behind Motus Financial?
So
So
we,
we
aside from wanting to have a stable income, that we all had input on the direction of how we accomplish that. That was kind of why we started Motus Financial, was a loss in faith that our corporate overlords weren't interested in the long-term success of our careers, or even the department that we were running. So we decided to start our own firm. But the mission for that, the why for that, was our industry isn't super regulated as far as like who can be a part of it and how they go to market. And so that has naturally produced a wide array of people who cause more trouble than what they ought to. because it makes them more money and harms the businesses that they're supposed to serve. And it breaks your heart to see some of the abuse that has happened, and some of the problems that we fix that seem like glaring, like, oh my God, how did you even get into this position to begin with? It's shocking sometimes. And so those kinds of problems were top of our list for why we should be in business specifically, is we knew, first of all, that those things shouldn't exist in our industry. It's not nice to do to businesses who are sponsoring little kids soccer teams and stuff like that. And so if we could improve their lives and the lives of the owners, that would have great ripples in our community. And that's why we do what we do. There are lots of ways of how we do what we do, but that's why we do what we do. We want to make sure that every business that we interact with is better off in some way after they meet with us.
Great. And I know you talk about solutions a lot and giving lots of solutions. So I'm sure some of those challenges you've seen, you've been able to not only offer solutions, but you've learned yourself, I'm sure, of the things not to do with Motus Financial.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, we're learning about ways to prevent problems and can recommend solutions that avoid problems. And sometimes, despite everybody's best interests, we discover problems along the way and then have to pivot and course correct to make sure that we're producing the best possible outcome for our clients. So sometimes those are problems we're fixing from previous providers, and sometimes those are problems we're fixing because of a solution that just didn't do what it said it was supposed to do. And that happens. I mean, nobody's perfect, and everybody we think is worth assuming they've got best intentions. And, you know, it's just a matter of trying to get the best result out of those solutions. So.
Excellent. And when you talk about those solutions and you talk about those that you're working with in your clients, who are your clients? What's your niche, or what's your, who works with you?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We our expertise is very deep in the credit card processing industry. And for most businesses, that doesn't matter. Most businesses that are selling to consumers don't need expertise to get the best financial result for them. They just need a machine or a device to physically read a credit card. And that's the end of the story. But for businesses that provide services to other companies or products to other companies, if they sell business to business, then they're going to need some different expertise and solutions so that their costs are as low as possible. The problem is that the majority of our industry either doesn't want to or can't grasp that nuance for B2B. And so invariably, companies that sell to other businesses will be set up with a consumer grade solution. And that's all well and good. It'll still process payments for them, but it will cost them somewhere between 0.5% to 2.5% more on every single transaction. And when you're selling to other businesses, generally those are larger tickets. And we've made some drastic cost reduction for some of our clients, like to the tune of 6 figures a year in cost reduction, just by simply getting them aligned with the right technology.
Incredible. And something that probably isn't top of mind. So you're being an educator along the way and building that trust, when you can offer that type of outcome. That's great. And how does that lead into your uniqueness when people are trying to decide who to work with? What would you say is Motus Financial uniqueness?
Um, I would say that our uniqueness is in our ability to simply have this mantra that we should just get it done. Like whatever it takes to get it done is our primary methodology. And so in some cases, the way that we separate from our competition is simply by returning a phone call or an email. I mean, this is like genius businesses, right? Like we're so smart because we return phone calls. But like some of our competitors, it's a very low bar, right? Their customer service methodology is revolved around the lowest cost option, and that usually leads to call centers that are either domestic or offshore, and they're staffed to the bare minimum typically, and that can produce some less than ideal support situations, and we run into those ourselves. Some of the companies that we rely on to deliver solutions for our clients have those support models, and sometimes we're the ones that have to wait on hold for half an hour just to solve a problem for our client instead of them waiting for half an hour. So it's tricky out there.
That mind blowing concept that you shared of exceptional, or just the customer in mind and the experience and building a team around to support them. I would say to you, I think there's a lot of people experiencing that right now, that people, you know you talk about, kind of how people are utilizing, outsourcing their customer service, right? And that can lead to a little bit of a hiccup or roadblocks in that delivery. Tell me about your team that you have.
Sure. We have a lean team. We have 4 tangible humans
Okay.
that support our clients. The majority of the people who do, so 3 out of the 4 of us have 20 some years experience in this industry. And so the vast majority of the time that our clients or businesses in the community are interacting with our company, they're interacting with somebody who is at the top level of capability, expertise wise, general experience, breadth of knowledge. So that's extremely different than even calling a call center with thousands of people, and like maybe their most experienced person has like 3 years or 6 years or whatever. That's still better than 4 months, but it's not 2 decades. And that person, generally speaking, hasn't been at the same level as what we have. We've had some very high level experience over our careers.
Excellent. So if I heard it correctly, your customers, even you as a co-owner, you interact with your customers
Yeah, I mean,
regularly.
it is rewarding to us to provide a hands-on relationship experience for our clients. We're in the communities that we serve. We're also serving clients across the country. But it's important to us that the experiences that they have when they call for support, somebody on the other end is motivated to care about a successful finish to that experience. And so right now our support model is driven by the owners of the company. So they're getting the best possible support experience available.
A little bit of caring goes a long way, right? Exactly. For
Or a
sure.
lot of bit of caring.
Yes, a lot of
Like,
it's great.
yeah.
So 3 to 5 years, what is the vision for Motus Financial? Where are you going?
We're our 5-year plan is to grow 5 times. That is a scary goal, but that is our goal.
Okay.
So we are on our way to the very first steps of that plan, which include expanding our team. So we've got some work to do there, and some some courage to employ with respect to investing in personnel and trusting that our culture will attract the right candidates and produce the right revenue. So that's it's scary sometimes to think about in different economic scenarios. So those are the joys of owning a business, though. I mean, it's scary if you don't, and it's scary if you do.
Why not?
Why
Right?
not?
Right? Right? So culture,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of my favorite things to talk about. What would be your number one rule of the game or the number one thing you're most proud of in your culture?
I think it's empathy.
Mhm.
I think putting yourself in the shoes of the customer from our perspective is where we start from. And so, like, if one of our clients is having trouble with their payment environment, what does that feel like? What is the pain they're experiencing? Right? In some cases, you can imagine, especially if you've had any experience in retail or hospitality, somebody wants to pay you, and invariably there's 14 people behind them also waiting to pay you money, and your system is down. I mean, you don't know why. You don't care why. What you care about is the customer and all 14 people behind them being frustrated. And you start asking yourself, is this the last time they're going to shop at my store or be in my restaurant? Am I producing, at no fault of my own, an experience that cost me thousands of dollars over the years? Like, why is this happening to me? And, whether it's the internet service provider being down or an employee decided to update iOS on an iPad or whatever, right? Somebody unplugged the router in the back because they dropped a box somewhere. I mean, you never know what's going on. And for us, we've been in that spot ourselves. And invariably our clients have had to call us because of one reason or another. And you can feel the pain, right? You can feel it yourself. You can imagine what it's like for the customers and the people who are trying to spend money in their environment. So when I mentioned just get it done, just figure it out, like whatever it takes. We've had to drive downtown during football games, Badger football games, and help clients that were in just a dumpster fire scenario, and figure it out, right? And If you think 14 people waiting is tough, like try hundreds. So
Yeah.
it's there's urgency, it's important, everything's tied to money and the collection of that money and how quickly you can get in, because that turns in profit, and profit hires people, it pays for staff, it pays for marketing, it pays for all kinds of stuff, right? So it's a privilege to be a part of that ecosystem. It's a privilege to be involved and included, and it's our responsibility to make sure we produce the best results.
Very cool. When you said empathy, I always think about put yourself in the other person's shoes, and just those examples you gave, right, creates that urgency and for you to be able to feel how they might be feeling. So that's pretty impressive, Mason. All right, some power questions. And you said some things here, so I'm wondering if these are going to circle all back. What would be your one of this is what you how you achieve success? What would be your one piece of advice on how to achieve success?
How to achieve success? Oh, that is such a moving target. I think the how to achieve success is simply the determination to continue. That's how to do it, because there's lots of ways to get there, and they all produce different results. So the determination to get through the forest versus which trees to turn left at is I think the key factor for success. So if you lose the determination, you're done.
You're not going to get there, right? Thanks for analyzing my question, by the way, how I asked it with the how. Thanks for putting so much thought into that. Couldn't agree more. Got to keep going, right? And so that's great. And if I had a magic wand that I handed to you for your business, what would you do with the magic wand?
I would it's a selfish question. What I would do is I would produce a pile of free money to go hire and expand our team at no risk to me. That's what I would do, because that would allow us to serve so many more business owners and support the mission we have, which is really just to help as many businesses as we can. And to do that without any financial risk to me. So that would be great. That's what my magic wand would be.
That would be magical, wouldn't it?
It sure would.
Awesome. All right, Mason, where can the viewers find you? Where can they learn more about Motus Financial?
Yeah. The best thing you can do is either find us on LinkedIn or Facebook, or our website, which is motuscc.com. So MOTUSCC, like credit card.com. We've got a bunch of blogs. There's mailing lists you can sign up for, different content categories. And our social media has all kinds of great stuff, how-tos and client success stories and product highlights, cute pictures of dogs. I don't know.
Excellent. Is it your dogs?
No. It's usually some meme we found somewhere.
Awesome. Um, all right. So we're gonna inspire the people that have watched this all the way to the end, and you have been so fun to talk to. So what inspires you?
To be honest, what inspires me is just connecting with other people. Yeah, I am personally motivated by human connection, making friends and having fun in the process. So that being able to make a connection and understand somebody and their story, whether or not we work together or not, being able to make that connection is inspiring.
Connections are great. And I am so glad I got to connect with you today. And again, thank you for chatting with us. I can't emphasize enough the importance of these conversations, and thank you for what you do, because the world operates on credit cards and there's so much that goes into that. And so thank you for what you do, because you're making the world turn in some senses. So thank you, Mason. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon. But for now, we'll say our goodbyes. Thanks, Mason.
Thanks, Monica.